everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. This is the second time this season that these NFC rivals will square off, and it promises to be a good one. It always is when these two divisional foes get together, especially the second time around when there's a score to settle from game one. It's the Panthers going up against the Buccaneers. So let's get you over to Tampa as we say hello to our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, thank you, Larry. We are on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They'll run the option left. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the 1st.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that. And when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game.
Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
Trey Waynes is a very aggressive cover corner player, learning how to add off coverage to his game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
And this has been an excellent drive to start the game off. Move the ball downfield well. Now they're set up at 1st and goal after that last really nice run. Exactly how a coach would draw things up. This is how you want to start a game, and that's all they've preached all week long about how they wanted to come out of the gate.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Shift together here from the D-line. Defense looks to punch it in here from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Noah spins in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So a 15-play drive. Can't believe that only resulted in 3, but it did.
That is somewhat amazing, isn't it? When you hold the ball that long, run offense that well, yet only put 3 points on the board, it has to be a little bit of a disappointment, doesn't it?
Has to. And the D looking like they may blitz. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And incomplete to open things up. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. And the starting crew defensively for Carolina.
K'Wan Short came out of Purdue as one of the top-rated defensive tackle prospects. Now he's one of the top-rated NFL players.
Looking to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
2nd down now after the pass completion.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin this. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And a catch right side by Evans. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go now.
On 2nd down, Langford. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover him. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Jeremy Langford with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
12 yards on the pickup, and it'll be first down Panthers. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Here's Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Flush to his right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This will be fielded at the 17. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Back to throw. Over the middle to Evans. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And it's 4th down. On 4th down, the Bucs will call On Brian Anger to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Now onto the field. Here come the Panthers. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
It's a gain of 17 that time. And the Panthers are going to get a first down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Here's Newton now on second down. They're trying to set up the screen. It's complete. They lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Newton now to throw. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Newton throwing again. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. His throw incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. That's caught at the 3. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Kelvin Benjamin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. And his kick is right through. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And this is caught by Evans. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 12, and it'll give the Bucs a first down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. They'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They have what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Man, just couldn't hang on to the slant. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
10 yards to go on third.
All right, here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to fire one deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 20. Jeez, they don't even want to let their guys get a drink of water. All right, third quarter, let's get to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Gets it to Strong. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Strong left. Strong left. Strong left. Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Now following the interception, here's Newton. Over the middle here to Brown. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, where a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And that'll make it 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. 3rd and long. It's Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line.
Smiles, everyone, smiles, because when Cam Newton and Greg Olsen hook up like they've been doing throughout this game, that's one big reason why they're winning.
What makes Greg Olsen so tough to cover?
I think he really is a wide receiver in a tight end's body. He runs his routes with such great precision and some physical toughness, and he really fights and competes for the ball.
And then, of course, it helps to have Cam Newton throwing it to you. They'll give it to him right up the gut. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now the Panthers get set, 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to account.
And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Cam Newton, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Trey Boston.
I'll tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about them.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And the Buccaneers are going to have a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at it, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
All right, here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Buying time to his left. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Coney Ely in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
3 down. Hey, check. Here we go now. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Gets it to Strong. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
And Aguayo able to knock it through. And that will close the gap down to 14. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Back now in Tampa. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. And to give this time to the tailback. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Here's Newton now on second down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Carolina. Corey Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
One receiver to the left is Evans. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now back to throw. He's got Evans. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll drop to throw. Incomplete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball down.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The lone setback is Langford. He's going to get the football. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Now, that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
Now let's go.
They'll look to run with Langford, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jeremy Langford with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. After the touchdown, Aguayo now ready for the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the 1st down, that's extra.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They go play action here on 1st down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. 2nd down following the incompletion. They'll look to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jeremy Langford, the one he was trying to get it to. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
He'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Jeremy Langford, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. So they're going to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people step.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Noah Spence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go on the ground. Room here to run. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Pulled in at the 24. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now a handoff here to his running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.